Hello all, this is a handy little tutorial video about this great thing called Folio, which is a Gmail add-on. It is an extension for Chrome. So you have to use Chrome in order for it to work. Most people do use the Chrome browser on a regular basis. Mac users may not like to use the Chrome browser, but when you see Folio, you may kind of want to use it. The one thing I did notice that if you use Go for Gmail as a Mac user or as a PC user, where you've got the Go for Gmail app, Folio does not work in that app because it's only a Chrome extension. So it will only work in your Gmail in Chrome. As far as your mobile apps for Gmail, there's the folders will still be there, but you don't see the timeline. Okay, so when I show you how to set up the folders, you don't have to do it again, is what I'm trying to say. If you use the Gmail app, once you see it, it'll make a little more sense. So it's just a basic Chrome add-on. Once you put it in, you've got it. So when you log in your Gmail, okay, you see this little folio up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you a folder and then show you how it starts. So if you look over on the side, we've got our folders in Gmail. These are ones that I made before I had Folio. Down below, you've got the Folio folders. Okay, so over time, as these close, they move into the closed files anyway. So it'll free this up, and this will expand the Folio files. If you click on Folio up here at the top, messages constantly. Okay, here's the two Folio files. So instead of coming over here and scrolling, you can just hit Folio, and they're going to all be there. I'm going to open the Merganser Way folder. So what Folio does is it takes everybody tied to the transaction, tied to that address. Okay, so any email that has the word Merganser 11210 in it is going to come in here. Okay, it's going to organize it. What it also does is lets you set a timeline. So if you look over here on the side, the property was listed on October 20th. We executed a contract on November 10th. Today's the 29th. The closing date is January 5th. You can also add dates in there for the home inspection, the appraisal deadline, and all that great stuff. And it ties it to your Google Calendar. So if I open up my Google Calendar, which I probably should have done to begin with, and we go where this closing date is, January 5th. Okay. It says estimated closing date. This is the folder here. Let me just get rid of all the other ones in the view. Okay. So right here where it says Mike's Transactions, that's a calendar in my Google Calendar set up by Folio. So the timeline will show up in this color. And of course, just like any other folder in Gmail, you can change the way the color is. Let me just put all these back. So as you create that timeline for your transaction, it's going to add those events to your Google Calendar. How super awesome is that? So that's the timeline. Now, if you click on the contacts here in the middle, the buyer's agent, the seller, escrow agent, seller, you put their names in and tag it. So you have everyone. What's cool is, this I believe is one of these two is the, I'm sorry, not Tara, this one. She is the closing coordinator for the lender on the buyer's purchase. So I have her in here. At one point, Denise Denver at Remax had shown the property and we emailed back and forth about it. It even pulled her and put her in here. An email from the FLR office regarding, I probably missed an initial or something, is right here. So everyone tied to this transaction. It even pulled in 3 clicks postcard when they sent me the the preview. Like, hey, here's your just listed postcard template thing. So that's kind of cool. You can also click on the files. Everything that was ever attached to an email is right here. This is an awesome tool. It's a Chrome extension add-on and it's free. Now, some of you may be a little like me. I don't really trust stuff. So I'm going to open up that Merganser folder. Okay. And here we go. Here's all the stuff. I'm going to open it up through Folio. And you'll see there aren't as many. It doesn't go back as far as mine. Okay. So if you open up this, let's just say like the DocuSign, you can add it to the Folio folder, just like you would add it to the regular folder. So yes, it's kind of automated, but you can still move things into that folder. So let's say we want to move something that's, well, I'm going to use one that's already there. Okay. So let's say we want to move this into the Folio folder from the Google folder, from the Google Smart folder. It will move it even though it was already in there. It should be in there. Am I confused? Am I in the wrong folder? Yeah, I was. Okay. So here it is. And then if we go to the Folio folder, there it is. So yes, it's pretty cool and to keep your transaction on track. So it's a free add-on. I don't know if they're going to charge it as a service, but it only works in Chrome, which is fine. So let's open one up. Let's go to our main, here I am in my inbox. Okay. Now this one from November 28th, which was today, for that same property should be in there. Okay, so we're going to click on that. And November 28th, there it is. And there's the one that I moved in manually. So if we go to our inbox here, and now I'm going to take that and I'm still going to move it because I'm like that, man. I will use double folders for 6 months before I'm fully convinced that this works well. So here's how you start. So you go to Folio up here at the top. And right here is create smart folder. So you create the folder. And I'm going to do one for 7435 Abalone Drive, Port Richey, Florida. Now I did notice that it does need the zip code. So you're going to, if it's not in there, you're going to have to add it. Okay. And on this one, I have the seller. So you can pick buyer, seller, or both. Create the smart folder. Name or email. So I'm going to start with Tina. And she's the seller. And then Darren. And he is the seller. And then Janina is the buyer agent. And JP is the escrow officer. And I always put Tammy in as well, because you know how it goes with title. I don't care what title company it is. Like you're talking to one person and then somebody else starts talking to you. So, sorry about that. So I'm going to need my list date. So I got to pull that up real quick. Execute a listing was on September 22nd. So the list date was, it took a little while for this one to go. It was in, what do you call it? It's in Gulf Highlands. And the execution was on the 13th. And we have no date changes on the middle, so it's the 13th of November. November 13th. Estimated closing date is December 19th. And then we continue. And you can go to the timeline. Okay. And here's the timeline. So what's cool is we can come in here and you can add a service provider. So we can add the escrow and title and add them there if they're not already somebody in your contract, in your contract thing. You can add the lender and all that great stuff. So this is pretty cool. Now, when you see the timeline, you can add a date. I love that. 20 days until closing. How great is this? So you're going to add a date. So this is going to be loan commitment due. And loan commitment is due on the 11th is when I want my reminders. I'm sorry, it's 30 days from acceptance. Add a reminder 1 day before. Now that reminder I just set is going to be on my calendar, and then you save. So if I go to my Google Calendar, whoopsie, I go to January. Oh, you know what? I'm not done with it yet. That's why. And I'm done. Okay, now it'll start syncing and updating and stuff like that. So if we look at our timeline here, here's what's cool is Google pulled the photo. How great is that? It's like a picture of the house. So if I go to my contacts here, there's the buyer's agent, the seller, escrow officer, seller, all that great stuff. Here's all the attachments that were sent throughout the transaction. And our timeline, loan commitment is due on December 13th. Estimated closing date. Now if I go to my calendar and go to, it helps me in the right month, December, here's loan commitment is due on the 13th. Now I can see this and be like, okay, loan commitment is due. I'm going to be on vacation. I have to alert my my buddy who's going to be watching my business while I'm gone to make sure that he knows to get loan commitment, that we need loan commitment. So there you go. Folio is pretty cool. Bill Simon brought this to my attention and I started playing with it. And I'm not really a Chrome user. Normally, I do like my Safari. Mainly, any Apple person knows when you go to create a PDF in Chrome, there are extra steps to get it to preview. Where you don't have that so much with Safari. However, I am willing to use Chrome to get this service. So I say give it a try. There's a link I'm going to be putting on actually I'm going to be emailing that out to everyone so you can give it a try. So thank you for watching the little video. Hope you found it informative, and I will talk to you soon.